Welcome back to Coins Hunter USA, the ultimate destination for rare US coin discoveries, hidden gems, and shocking coin values you won't believe. If you're a coin lover, collector, or just someone who enjoys a good treasure hunt, you're in the right place. Today, we've got something truly special lined up for you, a fascinating look into the state quarter dollar, a coin that might seem ordinary, until you discover its rare secrets. So sit back, watch closely, and let's uncover the mystery and value behind this incredible US coin together. Let's dive in. Top 1 today, we're diving into the beauty of American nature, numismatic history, and collector passion all wrapped into one stunning piece of metal, the 2017 United States of America Ozark National Scenic Riverways State Quarter. Now, this isn't just any quarter. While many people may have handled this coin without a second thought, very few realize that it could actually be hiding a small fortune. Yes, you heard that right. There are versions of this coin circulating, or safely stored in collections, that could be worth more than an entire car. Or even more than some homes. So make sure you watch this video till the very end, because we're going to uncover why this particular quarter has become one of the most sought-after modern coins in the collector's world. And trust me, you won't want to miss the final value reveal. Let's begin by talking about the story behind this magnificent coin. The Ozark National Scenic Riverways Quarter was released in 2017 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a program launched to highlight national parks and scenic locations from every state and territory in the United States. This coin represents the beautiful and wild heart of Missouri, specifically the stunning Ozark Riverways, a place where nature flows freely, and history runs deep. The reverse side of the coin showcases a scene so picturesque, it looks like it could be pulled straight from a painting. You'll see Alley Mill, an iconic red mill standing alongside a calm, clear stream, a place that has stood in Missouri for over a century, surrounded by forest, wildlife, and pure American tranquility. The design perfectly captures the peaceful yet powerful spirit of the Ozarks. Now, let's flip over to the obverse side. As with all modern quarters, you'll find the classic portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. But as always in numismatics, the real story lies in the fine details, the condition, and the rare deviations that make a coin valuable. So what makes the Ozark Riverways 2017 quarter so special, so expensive, and so interesting to coin collectors around the world? Let's start with rarity and era varieties. Although this coin was minted in large quantities at the Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, mints, only a tiny fraction of them contain the errors or unique features that make collectors' eyes light up. The overwhelming majority of these quarters were used for everyday spending, buying gum, paying for parking meters, or just lying forgotten in drawers and jars. Most are worth only their face value, but not all of them. Some 2017 Ozark quarters have been discovered with highly valuable minting errors, and this is where things get really exciting. We're talking about things like off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, and struck-through grease errors, each of which adds serious value depending on its clarity, position, and how well it's preserved. Take for example the double die reverse, DDR, error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin has a slight duplication, causing design elements, like the water lines, windows of the mill, or the lettering, to appear doubled. A clean and dramatic double die on this coin is extremely collectible and often demands premium prices in the market. Then there are off-center errors, where the coin was not properly aligned during striking. The result is a quarter with part of the design missing and a blank crescent moon-like curve on one side. These types of errors are very noticeable and highly sought after because they are visually striking. Another rare variety includes struck-through grease errors, where grease or debris on the die prevents full detail from appearing on the coin. Sometimes this creates spooky or ghost-like designs that fascinate collectors and make these coins one of a kind. Now let's talk about condition, or what collectors call the grade of a coin. A 2017 Ozark quarter that has been used in daily life, scratched or worn, is likely not worth more than 25 cents. But one that's in mint state, especially graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, is where the true value begins to shine. These are coins that look nearly flawless, as if they just left the mint yesterday, no scratches, no blemishes, and full, sharp design details, add in a rare error on top of high grade? That's where collectors will compete fiercely to add it to their collection, and that's where prices can soar. So why do collectors love this coin so much? For one, it's modern yet filled with history and art. The imagery speaks to America's natural beauty and its preserved landmarks, making the coin feel more like a miniature piece of artwork than simple change. The alley mill isn't just a structure, it's a piece of Americana that symbolizes resilience, natural power, and the passage of time. Secondly, this coin is part of a popular series, the America the Beautiful Quarters, which makes it a necessary part of any complete collection. And as collectors know, completing a set is a satisfying and often profitable goal. That's why people are always hunting for the rarer versions of each state's coin. Finally, there's the thrill. The idea that something as common as a quarter could turn out to be a rare treasure is what keeps coin lovers coming back for more. It's like a modern-day treasure hunt, and the 2017 Ozark quarter is one of those hidden gems that few have found in valuable condition. Now, you've been patient, and the moment you've waited for is finally here. Are you ready to know how much this coin could be worth? If you happen to be one of the lucky few who owns a 2017 Ozark National Scenic Riverways State Quarter in uncirculated mint state condition with a rare mint error, it could fetch as much as $72,000 in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, $72,000. All for a single quarter. That's why it's so important to check your change, search through your old jars, and take a second look at any quarters that stand out. That ordinary-looking coin in your pocket might just be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Top 2. We're heading into the heart of American history with a coin that blends patriotism, artistry, and numismatic rarity, the 2013 Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial State Quarter. Now, at first glance, this quarter might look just like any other. It may even be sitting unnoticed in your change jar, pocket, or an old drawer. But what if I told you that a specific version of this coin could be worth more than you ever imagined? I'm talking about a value so surprising, so impressive, that it has collectors everywhere keeping their eyes wide open. So stay with me through this full video because we're about to uncover why this quarter is turning heads in the numismatic world, and reveal a jaw-dropping value at the end. Let's begin by exploring the origin of this quarter and the rich history it represents. Released in 2013 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, this stunning coin commemorates the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial located in Ohio, on South Base Island in Lake Erie. The memorial stands as a tribute to Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry's heroic role in the War of 1812, specifically the Battle of Lake Erie, where he secured a pivotal American naval victory against the British. But the story doesn't end with war. The memorial, and the coin itself, also celebrates the enduring peace between the United States, Canada, and Great Britain. That's what makes this coin so special. It honors both conflict and reconciliation, courage and diplomacy. It's a coin that reflects not only a moment in time, but the enduring spirit of cooperation and strength among nations. Now let's take a closer look at the design, which is both powerful and symbolic. The reverse side of the quarter displays the tall, majestic Perry's Victory Memorial column, standing high above Lake Erie. At the base of the monument, a solemn statue of Commodore Perry appears, looking out across the waters. The design, by artist Don Everhart, is both dramatic and elegant, capturing the solemnity and strength of the moment. It's a visual reminder of the price of freedom and the value of peace. On the obverse, of course, is the familiar profile of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan, but slightly modified to fit the America the Beautiful series. This contrast between the nation's first president and the heroic naval commander from the War of 1812 gives the coin a deep sense of continuity and tradition. So, now to the big question, what makes this coin so rare and valuable? After all, millions of these quarters were struck and released into circulation by the Philadelphia, P., Denver, D., and San Francisco, S., mints. Well, here's where things get interesting. While the average Perry's Victory quarter is worth 25 cents, a select few contain minting errors, die varieties, or have been preserved in exceptional condition. turning them into treasure among collectors. Let's talk about some of these rarities and error types that can turn this ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. First up, the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck by a die that has been engraved twice, causing elements of the design, such as the monument, statue, or inscriptions, to appear slightly doubled. On this coin, doubling on the words Perry's Victory, Ohio, or the year 2013 is especially valuable and highly sought after. A strong double die with visible doubling under magnification can boost the value of the coin dramatically. Then there are off-center strikes, which happen when the coin blank is misaligned during the minting process. This results in part of the design being cut off, while a crescent of blank space appears on one side. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the date and key design elements are still visible. Another variety is the die break error, sometimes known as a cud. This is caused when a piece of the die cracks or breaks off, leading to a raised lump or blob of metal on the coin where the design should be. These cuds are rare and unpredictable, making them very attractive to error collectors. There are also struck-through errors, where foreign material, like grease or fabric, gets between the die and the blank coin. This can create ghost-like impressions or cause parts of the design to appear faint or missing. Such errors add mystery and uniqueness, making each one essentially a one-of-a-kind piece. Now let's talk about condition, or what collectors call the grade. A Perry's Victory quarter that's been passed around in pockets and purses for years won't be worth more than face value. But if you come across one in uncirculated mint state condition, especially one that's been professionally graded MS67 or higher, you're dealing with a whole different story. Coins in this high-grade condition retain full luster, sharp details, and have no signs of wear, making them extremely appealing to serious collectors. But here's the real kicker: if you find a high-grade Perry's Victory quarter with a rare mint error, the value can skyrocket. Coin dealers, collectors, and even auction houses actively compete for such pieces, and the prices they're willing to pay might shock you. So, why do collectors love this coin so much? It's the perfect storm of factors: rich historical context, beautiful symbolic design, connection to an important American victory, and the ever-enticing possibility of rare minting anomalies. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to look through change jars, this coin has all the qualities of a prized collectible. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you are lucky enough to possess a 2013 Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial quarter that is in flawless, uncirculated mint state condition, and especially if it features a rare error like a double die, off-center strike, or struck-through anomaly, it could be worth as much as $72,000. Yes, you heard that right. $72,000 for a single, humble-looking quarter. So next time you're sifting through your change or sorting out your old coin collection, don't rush. Take your time. Look closely. Because that ordinary quarter in your hand might just be a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Top 3. We're traveling back to the very beginning of one of the most iconic coin programs in U.S. history. Our spotlight is on a true pioneer in American modern coinage, the 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter in the drawer or pocket. After all, this coin has been around for more than 2 decades and passed through countless hands. But don't be fooled. Hidden among the millions are some rare and extraordinary versions of this quarter that have stunned collectors and sold for staggering amounts of money. And today, you're going to find out exactly why. So settle in, pay close attention, and watch till the very end, because if you have this coin, you might just be holding on to a piece of American history that's worth far more than 25 cents. The story of the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter begins with the launch of the 50 State Quarters program, a monumental initiative by the United States Mint that kicked off in, yes, you guessed it, 1999. This program aimed to release a new quarter for each state in the order they joined the Union, giving Americans a unique way to celebrate state pride and national heritage. Pennsylvania was the second state to be honored in this series, and its quarter quickly became a symbol of the program's power to connect history, artistry, and everyday currency. But what makes the Pennsylvania quarter truly stand out isn't just the design or its place in the series, it's the rare errors and pristine examples that can make it an absolute goldmine for collectors. Let's take a look at the design first. The reverse side of the coin features the Commonwealth statue, a proud and powerful female figure standing tall, holding a ribbon and a staff. She symbolizes justice, freedom, and government, a fitting tribute to Pennsylvania's long legacy in American democracy. Behind her, there's an outline of the state itself and a keystone, symbolizing Pennsylvania's nickname, the Keystone State. Simple, elegant, and steeped in meaning, this design captures the heart of Pennsylvania's historical significance. And while millions of these coins were minted, the devil is in the details, because some of them contain minting errors that have sent their value soaring. Now let's talk about those errors and rarities that collectors dream about. First and foremost, one of the most desirable issues with the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter is the spitting horse error, a die crack that appears near the horse's mouth, making it look like it's spitting. While this particular error was more famously associated with the Delaware quarter, similar die crack varieties have appeared on other 1999 coins, including Pennsylvania. A visible die crack, especially one that affects prominent design features like the keystone or the statue, can easily boost the coin's value into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If the condition is right, then there are off-center strikes, where the coin was misaligned during the minting process. These quarters often appear with part of the design cut off and a blank crescent along the edge. A Pennsylvania quarter struck 10% to 20% off-center with visible date and full elements can demand serious premiums. One of the most exciting and valuable types of minting errors on the 1999 quarters is the double die error, particularly on the reverse. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between strikes, causing some of the letters or images to appear doubled. Doubling on words like Pennsylvania, 1787, or virtue, liberty, independence, is a huge red flag. In the best way, for collectors, there are also clipped planchet errors, where the coin is missing a portion of its edge due to the metal blank being miscut. These make the coin look like someone took a bite out of it, and if the rest of the design is intact, they can be very valuable. But it's not just about errors. Condition is everything in the coin world. While most 1999 Pennsylvania quarters were heavily circulated and now show signs of wear, scratches, dings, and faded features, there are a few that have survived in absolutely pristine condition. These are called mint state coins, and the best of them are professionally graded at MS67 or higher. A Pennsylvania quarter in this grade shines with full original luster, razor-sharp details, and not a single blemish. When such a coin also includes a minting error, it becomes the kind of rarity that collectors and investors fight over at auctions. Why is this coin so popular with collectors? Well, for one, it was part of the first year of the 50 State Quarters program, a program that revitalized interest in U.S. coin collecting. First-year issues in any coin series often carry more weight, and Pennsylvania's place as one of the inaugural quarters gives it extra importance. The state's rich heritage, the elegance of the design, and the possibility of rare variants make it a must-have for every serious collector. Plus, this is a coin that speaks to American values, independence, liberty, and unity, all represented in a compact and beautiful design. It's a piece of metal, yes, but it's also a piece of history, a work of art, and, in some cases, a small fortune waiting to be discovered. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you are fortunate enough to have a 1999 Pennsylvania State quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition, especially one with a major mint error like a strong doubled die or a dramatic off-center strike, it could be worth an incredible $85,000. Yes, you heard me correctly, $85,000 for a quarter that originally cost just 25 cents. So the next time you're sorting through spare change, don't dismiss that 1999 Pennsylvania quarter. Look closely. Inspect the details. Check for doubling, cracks, off-center strikes, or anything unusual. Because that simple coin might just be a numismatic treasure waiting to change your life. Top 4. We're diving into one of the most intriguing and eye-catching coins from recent history, a quarter that many overlook, yet a rare version of it could be hiding in your very own home, wallet, or coin jar. We're talking about the 2020 Salt River Bay State Quarter, and believe me, this coin isn't just stunning in design, it might also be worth a staggering amount of money if you have the right one. Yes, this beautiful quarter, released just a few short years ago, has already become a hot topic among serious collectors. And today, we're going to explore exactly why. What makes it rare? What errors should you look for? And how much could this modern treasure be worth? Watch closely and stick around until the end, because you do not want to miss the value reveal, especially if you've been saving your quarters. Let's begin with a bit of background on this remarkable coin. The Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve is located on the island of St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This area is one of the most ecologically and historically significant places in the Caribbean. It marks the only place in the United States where the expedition of Christopher Columbus is known to have set foot. It's also home to ancient mangrove forests and rich marine life, making it both a cultural and ecological gem. In 2020, as part of the final years of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the United States Mint released the Salt River Bay Quarter to commemorate this vital piece of American and Caribbean heritage. And although this coin is part of a modern series, some versions have already become incredibly rare and unbelievably valuable. Now let's talk design. The reverse side of the coin is what truly sets it apart. It features a striking image of a red mangrove tree rising from the shoreline, with long, graceful roots reaching into the water. This isn't just any tree, this mangrove is a symbol of life, regeneration, and ecological resilience. Its leaves stretch upward like a crown, and the intricate root system below captures nature's beauty and complexity. This design is one of the most visually captivating of the entire America the Beautiful series. It was created to celebrate the renewal and growth of both land and spirit, perfect symbolism for a place like Salt River Bay. Flip the coin, and you'll see the familiar face of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan and used throughout the series. But remember, while the design itself is beautiful, the true value of this coin lies in its rarity, condition, and errors. Let's dig into that. While the 2020 Salt River Bay quarters were minted in large quantities at the Philadelphia, P, and Denver, D, mints, and also as special collector versions at the San Francisco, S, mint, most of these coins were produced for everyday circulation. That means millions of them were used in transactions, carried around in pockets, and eventually ended up scratched, worn, and tarnished, but a few, just a tiny fraction, escaped that fate. Some were struck with unusual errors. Others were kept in pristine, uncirculated condition. And it's these coins, the rare, error-filled, or high-grade specimens, that can now fetch incredible prices in the collector's market. So what kinds of mint errors should you be looking for on the 2020 Salt River Bay quarter? One of the most common and valuable errors found on recent quarters is the double die error, particularly on the reverse side. If the mangrove tree or the words Salt River Bay, U.S. Virgin Islands, or the date 2020 appear doubled, even slightly, you might be looking at a double die quarter. These errors occur during the die creation process and can make a coin extremely valuable, especially when visible to the naked eye or under magnification. Another rare error is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is not properly aligned. This can result in a quarter where part of the design is missing and replaced by a blank, crescent-shaped space. If the date is still visible and the error is dramatic enough, these coins can become hot items among error collectors. Some Salt River Bay quarters have also been found with strike-through errors, where something like grease or debris got between the die and the coin blank. This can cause parts of the design to appear faded, smeared, or missing, making the coin look like a ghostly or shadowy version of itself. These one-of-a-kind anomalies are extremely attractive to collectors. Even more rare are clipped planchets, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut during the planchet making process. If your Salt River Bay quarter is missing a chunk, especially a curved or crescent-shaped clip, you may be holding a high-value collectible. And let's not forget condition. If your 2020 quarter looks fresh from the mint, untouched by circulation, with razor-sharp detail and full luster, then it could be classified as mint state, MS, particularly if professionally graded MS 67 or higher. That alone can increase its value drastically. Combine mint state condition with one of the rare errors we mentioned, and you've got something very special. Now let's answer the burning question: why do collectors love this coin so much? The Salt River Bay quarter checks all the boxes. It has an emotionally powerful and beautifully artistic design. It comes from a location with rich historical and environmental significance. And it's one of the newer coins that younger collectors and modern treasure hunters are actively chasing, plus, it was minted during a unique time in U.S. history, 2020, a year of global change and disruption. That context alone adds to the coin's significance. For many, it symbolizes growth after hardship, making it a powerful addition to any collection, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a 2020 Salt River Bay quarter in flawless, uncirculated mint state condition, and it features a notable minting error, such as a bold double die, dramatic off-center strike, or rare strike-through, you might be looking at a collector's jackpot, because that coin, yes, that little quarter in your hand, could be worth a life-changing $85,000. That's right, $85,000 for a modern quarter that most people wouldn't even glance at twice. And it could be sitting in your collection right now. So next time you're checking your change or sorting through your coin rolls, don't overlook those 2020 quarters. Look for the mangrove, look for the shimmer, and inspect closely for those tiny, valuable imperfections that can turn a common coin into a legendary find. Top 5. We are diving deep into the heart of America's fight for independence, captured forever in one shining piece of modern currency, the 2015 Saratoga State Quarter. Now, don't let its modern date fool you. This coin is more than just loose change. If you have the right version, with specific features or rare minting errors, this humble quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping amount of money. And yes, one example of this very coin has been reported to reach a value that'll leave you stunned, so stick with me until the end, because you don't want to miss the value reveal. Let's begin with the history. The 2015 Saratoga Quarter was released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a beloved series that honors America's national parks and historic sites. This specific coin commemorates Saratoga National Historical Park in New York, the site of one of the most important turning points in the American Revolutionary War. In October 1777, the Battle of Saratoga marked a decisive victory for American forces against the British. It wasn't just a military win, it was a global moment. That victory helped convince France to officially ally with the United States, providing crucial support that eventually led to American independence. So, when you hold this coin, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a piece of the American spirit. The reverse design of the Saratoga Quarter is especially symbolic. It shows a dramatic moment of surrender, a British sword being handed to an American officer, representing General John Burgoyne's surrender to American General Horatio Gates. This act sealed the American victory and changed the course of history. The engraving is powerful, emotional, and rich with meaning. Below the image are the words, British Surrender 1777, along with the state name, New York, and the year the coin was issued, 2015. The artwork was created to evoke dignity, honor, and the lasting importance of peace after conflict. On the obverse side, of course, is the classic image of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan and used throughout the America the Beautiful series. But as you know, the real treasure lies not just in the design, but in the rarity, condition, and unusual minting errors that make certain examples of this coin incredibly valuable. So, what makes the 2015 Saratoga Quarter worth more than just 25 cents? Let's start with errors, those small but fascinating mistakes that happen during the minting process. Some might see these as flaws, but for collectors, they're like gold dust. One of the most sought-after errors on the Saratoga Quarter is the double die. This is when the coin is struck by a die that has been engraved twice, causing parts of the design or lettering to appear doubled. If you see doubling on the sword, the hands, the date, or the words, British Surrender 1777, you could be looking at a rare double die variety. The clearer and bolder the doubling, the higher the potential value. Another valuable error type is the off-center strike, where the design was stamped slightly off the coin center. This causes a portion of the design to be missing and leaves a blank, crescent-shaped edge. If the date and design elements are still partially visible, these coins can be worth a small fortune, especially if in mint condition. Then there are strike-through errors, where foreign material, like grease, thread, or debris, interferes with the stamping process. The result is a coin with faded or smeared features, often creating ghost-like or distorted appearances that make each one totally unique. And let's not forget the clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing because of a miscut blank. These coins, especially when the clip is obvious and clean, are prized among error collectors. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Condition matters just as much as rarity. A coin with no error but in worn, circulated shape might only be worth face value. But a Saratoga quarter that's been kept in pristine, untouched, uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, is already valuable on its own. Combine mint condition with a dramatic error, and suddenly you've got something collectors dream of owning. Auction houses have seen such pieces climb into the thousands, and sometimes much more, but what makes the Saratoga quarter so appealing isn't just the potential value. It's the meaning behind the coin. Collectors and history lovers are drawn to it because it tells a compelling story. It's more than metal, it's memory. It represents a nation's fight for independence, the surrender that turned the tide, and the symbolism of unity in the face of adversity. Plus, it's part of the incredibly popular America the Beautiful series, which makes it a must-have for those trying to complete the full collection. First released in 2010, this series concluded in 2021, and coins from its middle years, like 2015, are already becoming harder to find in high-grade condition. So, if you're a coin collector, this is a piece you want to keep your eyes on. Whether you're hunting through coin rolls, checking your spare change, or flipping through a collection from years ago, don't skip past the 2015 Saratoga quarter. Look closely for errors. Examine the luster. And consider getting it professionally graded if it looks flawless. And now, here comes the part you've all been waiting for. If you are fortunate enough to own a 2015 Saratoga State quarter that is in perfect mint state condition, and it features one of the rare mint errors we've talked about, like a bold double die or an off-center strike, then your coin could be worth as much as $98,000. Yes, that's right. $98,000 for one extraordinary coin. Imagine that. A simple quarter, designed to honor a powerful moment in American history, sitting quietly in your pocket, quietly holding the power to change your life. Thanks for watching this deep and fascinating look into the Saratoga quarter. If you love discovering rare coins and learning the stories that give them life, be sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you're always the first to know when we uncover the next hidden treasure. Until next time, stay curious, stay passionate, and keep checking your change, because that next rare find might just be in your hands. Happy collecting from Coins Hunter USA.